Good morning, children. In our previous classes, we have studied about simple curve, closed curve, triangles, polygons, etc. Now, to extend our knowledge about different type of quadrilaters, we shall study about their properties and their applications. First of all, we shall recall about simple curve. Without lifting our pencil and without retracing any parts of the curve, if we draw a curve, which is called simple curve, we can draw like this. This is a simple curve. Now closed curve. If I draw a curve like this is called closed curve. If I draw a like this, it is also a closed curve. Now open curve. If I draw a curve like this is a open curve. This is also a open curve. Children, if we draw a curve like this is not a simple curve. Actually, here the curve is crossing itself. This type of curve is not a simple curve. Similarly, if I draw like this is also not a simple curve. Now the next thing is polygon. According to its name, polygon is defined like poly means many and guns means vertices or angles. So a simple closed curve which is made by 3 or more than 3 line segments is called polygon. Now this polygon is again divided into 4 parts. First is called regular polygons. Yes. Now next is irregular polygons. Next, convex polygons. And the last is concave polygons. This regular polygons means if all the sides and all the angles of the polygons are equal, then this is called regular polygon. For example, if we take equilateral triangle is a regular polygon because its all sides are equal and all the angles are 60 degree each. Similarly, we have another example of regular polygon is a square. In a square also all the sides are equal and all angles are 90 degree each. Irregular polygons, simply those polygons which are not regular, means all the sides are not equal and all the angles are also not equal. Next is convex polygon. Children, convex polygons are those in which all the interior angles should be less than 180 and all the diagonals should be inside the figure. For example, you can take rectangle, square, rhombus, these all are called convex polygons. Now the last is concave polygon. Children, its shape is like this. This is a concave polygon. Here we have a cave-like structure. You can see this is a cave-like structure. In concave polygon, at least one angle should be greater than 180. You can see this angle is greater than 180 and at least one diagonal should be outside the figure. This is a diagonal which is outside the figure. So this is the concave polygon. After that, I want to tell you these polygons are also named according to their sides. So let us know, if I write here number of sides and here names of polygons, then if we have 3 sides in a polygon, it is called triangle. Everybody knows this, that the number of sides are 3, then it is called triangle. Now the second is, if the number of sides are 4, it is called quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means this word quad also shows 4. Third is, if the number of sides are 5, it is called pentagon. If number of sides are 6, it is called hexagon. If number of sides are 7, it is called heptagon. If number of sides are 8, it is called octagon. If number of sides are 9, it is called nonagon. If number of sides are 10, it is called decagon, and so on. So these are the names of different type of polygons. Now I am coming to the very important property of polygons. It is interior angle property. So for example, I take a triangle ABC. These angles are called interior angles of a triangle. Children, you have studied in class 6 and 7 that the sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. It means angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. It is called sum of interior angles of a triangle. Now if we take quadrilateral, let A, B, C, D. So ABCD is a quadrilateral. The sum of all the four angles of quadrilateral is 360 degree. This is the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral. How it comes? Actually, when we join this AC, then our quadrilateral is divided into two triangles. First is ABC triangle and second is ADC triangle. The sum of three angles of the triangle ABC is 180 degree and the triangle ADC is 180 degree. So here we have two triangles, so we can solve like this: 2 into 180, that is 360. So in this way we get the sum 360 degree. Similarly, if we take a pentagon, pentagon shape is like this, and these are the interior angles of a pentagon. Children, if I join this line like this and this line like this, then again we divided this pentagon into three triangles. And similarly, you can find the sum of interior angles of a pentagon like this. It will be 540 degree. But similarly, if we increase the number of sides of different polygons like heptagon, nonagon, decagon, then it will become a difficult task. That how will you find the sum of interior angles like this? It will be difficult for you. So we have very simple formula to find the sum of interior angles of any regular polygon is n minus 2 into 180. It is the sum of interior angles with side n. So this is the formula. Here if you put the value of number of sides, like if you put the value n as 4, then 4 minus 2, 2, 2 into 180, 360. So you can verify this formula for quadrilateral. Now the next formula, if you want to find any interior angle of regular polygon, then it will be n minus 2 into 180 upon n. Means if you divide the sum of all interior angles by the number of sides, you will get each interior angle of a polygon. The third formula is to find the number of diagonals of any polygon is n minus 3 upon 2. Yes, you can ask, what is a diagonal? Children, actually when we draw a polygon, for example I am taking here a quadrilateral. If I join these 2 points, this is called a diagonal. Actually when we draw, we want to draw a diagonal, we always join non-adjacent vertices. Actually A and B are adjacent vertices, similarly B and C are also adjacent vertices. But here we are joining non-adjacent vertices. In this way we can draw AC as a diagonal and we can draw BD also as a diagonal. But in different polygons like heptagon, nonagon, decagon, there are many diagonals, so it will be difficult for you to find how many diagonals are there. So here we use this formula n minus 3 upon 2. In place of n, you should put only the number of sides of the polygon, then you will get the number of diagonals. Now the next property which is based on polygons is exterior angle property. Exterior angle property. For explaining this, again I am taking example of triangle. Children, we have a triangle ABC. If I extend this side of the triangle, similarly this side of the triangle, similarly this side of the triangle, then these angles formed are called exterior angles. Now this property says that the sum of all the angles of polygons, exterior angles, the sum of these angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 is always 360 degree. This property holds good for any polygon, like if you take pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, if you make their exterior angles and the sum of these all exterior angles always remains constant, that is 360 degree. Actually what happens, as you increase the number of sides, these angles becomes smaller and the sum after all becomes always constant, that is 360 degree. With the help of this property we can find some very important formulas, like if you want to find each exterior angle of regular polygon, it will be equal to 360 upon number of sides. So if you put 360 divided by number of sides, you will get each exterior angle of any polygon. Similarly, if you find number of sides of any polygon, then again it will become equal to 360 upon each exterior angle. So these two formulas will help you to solve some questions in NCERT exercises. Now children, I am coming to the quadrilateral. Quadrilateral I have already told in previous exercise that what is quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means 4 sides. Quadrilateral is divided into 3 categories. First is parallelogram. Second is trapezium. And the last is kite. The shape of parallelogram is like this. Let A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. In this parallelogram, opposite pairs of our sides are parallel as well as equal. Means AB parallel to CD and AD parallel to BC. Similarly, AB equal to CD and AD equal to BC. Another important thing is angle A is always angle C and angle B is always equal to the angle D. And the diagonals of the parallelogram always bisect each other. These are the important properties of parallelogram. Now parallelogram is again divided into 3 parts. First is square. First is square. Second is rectangle. Third is rhombus. Children, in square, all sides are always equal. Every angle is 90 degree each. Look at figure. I am making a figure of square. Then it will be simple for you. Let A, B, C, D is a square. In square, all sides are equal and every interior angle is 90 degree each. for the diagonals, if we draw two diagonals AC and BD, these diagonals are always equal and they bisect each other at 90 degree. So bisect means OB is equal to OD, OA is equal to OC. So these are the properties which makes it a special quadrilateral. The next is rectangle. In rectangle, opposite sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. Means if I take name ABCD, then AB is equal to CD and AB parallel to CD also. AD is equal to BC and AD is parallel to BC also. Similarly, all the angles of the rectangle are 90 degree. Their diagonals are always equal and diagonals bisect each other. Means OB is equal to OD and OC is equal to OA. So this is the rectangle. Now the third is rhombus. Rhombus looks like a diamond or kite. A, B, C, D. This is a rhombus. Children, in rhombus all the sides are equal. AD is equal to AD is equal to DC is equal to BC. So all sides are equal. Its opposite angles are equal because it is also a parallelogram. So opposite angles of parallelogram are always equal. If I draw diagonals AC and BD, the diagonals of a rhombus always bisect each other at 90 degree. The main difference between rhombus and square is this: the diagonals of square are always equal while the diagonals of rhombus are not equal. Now I am coming to the trapezium. Children, trapezium looks like this. This is the shape of trapezium. What is the definition of trapezium? Actually, at least one opposite pair of trapezium should be parallel. It may be both the sides, both the opposite pairs should be parallel. In case square, rectangle, rhombus, these all are also trapezium. But if at least one opposite pair is parallel, then it is called trapezium. Another important property of trapezium is if its non-parallel sides are equal. Like A, B, C, D is the name of this trapezium. Then if AD is equal to BC, then it is called isosceles trapezium. In isosceles trapezium, we have a property that its diagonals are equal and its base angles are always equal. Means angle D is equal to angle C. Similarly, angle A is also equal to angle B. So these are the properties of trapezium. Now come to the kite. Yeah, kite is very beautiful. Similarly, its properties are also beautiful. Let me make a tail also. A, B, C, D. What is the property which makes it different to others? Is its adjacent sides are equal. Means AD is equal to AB and CD is equal to BC. So here the pair of adjacent sides are equal. Another different property is its longer diagonal bisects the smaller diagonal. Means only OD is equal to OB and 90 degree each at the center. Means its diagonals intersect each other at 90 degree and the longer diagonal divides the smaller diagonal in two equal parts, that is OD and OB. So these were the properties of kite. So children, these properties were the properties of quadrilaterals. I hope you understood. Thank you very much and have a nice day.